As the fight against Dominion Energy's Powerline project escalates, the Loudoun County community continues to speak out against the Golden to Mars electric transmission project, designed to complete a transmission loop to power the data centers of Loudoun County. Due to Route 3 being rejected by the school board, newly proposed Route 3A has sparked backlash from Loudoun County residents, as it is not only located near Rockridge High School and Rosalie Carter Elementary, but it also directly cuts through some residents' own backyards, including Will Taggart and Vicky Hoos. Vicky Hu, the owner of the home that will be directly impacted by the power line, first got the call that the company would be building in her own backyard back on June 13, 2025.
What kind of human being would propose put a power line behind somebody's house so close? Especially you talk about 500 kV line and less than 100 feet, because the power line is 100 feet, but they're going to clearance on either side 50 feet. So that means we only have less than 50 feet, space. I mean, we raised, Madison was a baby when we bought this house. We have 2 dogs. I mean, I plant all these plants. We plant new trees. Every year I plant maybe 10, 20 trees. This year, our life just paused. We can't do anything because we don't know if everything going to get demolished, got removed.
Whose daughter, Rockridge alumni Madison Taggart, is afraid to lose the home that she has spent most of her life living in.
It's pretty much been almost all I've known. Like, I've spent pretty much all my years here. I've pretty much walked almost every inch of his property when I was younger, and I still look out here and just marvel at how cool it is. I actually get this space. Like, it's only recently that I realized just how rare it is to get a space like this, especially as my own backyard.
Their neighbors, Min Pak and daughter Alina Pak, an 8th grader who attends Stonehill Middle School, are also among the 7 homes impacted by the proposed power lines, their main concern being the potential health risk of living so close to them.
There's studies that show that, all these high voltage power lines have, health risks due to the electromagnetic field that it emits. And, I'm not going to compromise my children's health for the benefit of Dominion and these data centers, so that they can get, basically what they need to run their business. But at the sake of our health, it's not right. Morally, ethically, it's just not right.
To get their voices heard, these affected residents have connected with those from Loudoun Valley Estates 1, 2, and 3. These communities are also opposing the power lines that are proposed to run near their neighborhoods. Loudoun Valley Estates 2 residents, such as Mrinal Singh, along with Loudoun Valley Estates 1 HOA Executive President Victor Block, have come together to start the Golden to Mars Committee, also known as the Ashburn Coalition Against Power Lines, a committee made to organize massive protests against Dominion's project and routes.
So we have a committee of 15 volunteers, and this was formed by the HOA board to address the big issue that is coming to our neighborhood from Dominion. And we are just volunteers. We meet, we strategize on how to respond to.
So I think what makes me upset is that nobody really takes accountability. And then all these other folks are looking out for their interests. And we are now an afterthought in the whole process that, frankly, they expected to run over. I think my biggest job is to make sure we do everything we can not to get run over, right? And so even though we're a very small community here relatively, we've been making a lot of noise. And then the goal is to get everybody else to make a lot of noise so we can all make it happen and stop it. And we need to find the best possible solution, which is they should be undergrounding these lines. So
Standing united, residents, HOA executives, politicians, and school board members rallied together as one at a recent community event to oppose all overhead power lines. On Saturday, September 13th, Block and his committee organized a community outreach event at Loudoun Valley Estates 1 to help spread word about the proposed power lines. The rally, which dozens of people attended, featured key speakers and provided a way for residents to connect with one another and expand outreach. J.J. Singh, the delegate for Virginia House of Delegates District 26, who also spoke at the rally, has been utilizing his political position to push the anti-power line campaign further.
So number one, it's meeting with the community and stakeholders to understand what the issues are, what we can be doing more. That means meeting with Dominion, which I've done, meet with staff from the State Corporation Commission, meet with people from LV 1, 2, and 3, meet with the attorneys who are representing those communities, Then I introduced legislation in the Virginia House of Delegates to underground power lines, 500 kilovolt power lines, to a pilot program, and that passed the House. The next thing is I've written a letter to the State Corporation Commission, and I was joined by Senator Srinivasan and joined by Delegate Marty Martinez, calling for the further consideration of undergrounding these power lines and to explore all alternatives aside from what's currently being contemplated.
Having a personal connection as a resident of the affected area of Loudoun Valley, Auburn Estrefi, the LCPS Sterling District School Board representative, is focused on protecting the interests of LCPS students at Rock Ridge and Rosa Lee Carter Elementary School, where his kindergarten son attends.
Why does it concern Rock Ridge students or Rosa Lee or any of the schools, Stonehill? Because I live in LV2, and so I know my son goes to Rosa Lee, and power lines near schools are something that we shouldn't have to deal with as a community. We have an amazing community LV2. In Loudoun in general, we don't have that many community spaces and green spaces that don't have power lines anymore. And these are very large power lines. We have lots of walk zones and walk areas and paths in those areas. And if you can recall from the planning, the power lines would literally be sitting on top of those walking paths as kids would be going to school. And so, I mean, those are just a few reasons why I think undergrounding is ultimately the right solution.
With the power line conflict emerging from the growing energy demands of Loudoun County's data center alley, Senior Land Use Field Representative of the Piedmont Environmental Council, Jem Bingle, and her colleague Emily Johnson have brought their expertise to the committee.
What we have been researching and learning is that data centers, particularly in Loudoun, have been developing and seen as a huge source of revenue, and that has been seen as a really positive thing. And as more and more data centers have been developed, the negative side of things has started to come out. So we have been working on this issue from the local level to the state level for several years.
But we're talking thousands of homes.
Millions of homes,
across
actually.
the state. Yeah, like
Right.
a single data center, thousands of homes. Across the state, we're talking millions of homes. They're talking about building out more energy than the whole state currently uses, right? So you can understand why we say that there's more power lines coming, because they have to build out like twice what they have now.
As the community rallied together, residents and speakers motivated each other to take action and spread awareness in anticipation of the SEC hearing on September 18th, where they would get the opportunity to express their distress to Dominion Energy representatives.
The Blaze reached out to Dominion Energy for their response to the community's concerns. Robert Richardson, the electric transmission communications consultant at Dominion Energy, insisted that residents and students will remain safe regardless of their worries. However, Dominion still prefers Route 3 as it minimizes the impact on the community. But the school board's rejection has pushed them to continue with Route 3A, the route that many community members strongly oppose.
While residents have been pushing for an underground solution, Dominion has remained firm on the unfeasibility of undergrounding power lines due to lack of space for transition stations, among many other factors. Furthermore, Dominion cannot validate concerns about property values plummeting, instead highlighting the benefits of the project on the economy. Quote, "It's difficult to determine the impact on property values from the construction of transmission infrastructure. This project is necessary to provide the energy needed to support economic development and a growing industry in Loudoun County, one that supports jobs and helps to keep taxes low." End quote. Although community members have expressed their frustration with the lack of cooperation from Dominion, Richardson believes that they've done what they can to provide support. Quote, "Our goal for any electric transmission project is to provide meaningful involvement to those who might be impacted by this project, and we feel like we've accomplished that." End quote. In fact, adults aren't the only ones protesting, as Rock Ridge students have also been opposing Dominion Energy's power lines with their initiative, SAVE, also known as Students Against High Voltage Expansion. These students are intent on preserving the community they grew up in.
We are fighting against power lines in Loudoun County, and we're trying to rally students against that.
We are part of an initiative. We called it Students Against High Voltage Expansion. So we started this back in early 2025 when we first heard about these proposals. So we've just been active with lobbying our state legislators, local boards that play key roles in making sure that these lines are not built, and kind of rallying students is really important to us, because we understand that students have an important voice in this. After all, this is our school. Elementary and high school is a shared campus, so we really think together we have a voice that's powerful.
The community rally and protests are another chapter in the standoff between the residents and Dominion Energy, with both parties looking towards the September 18th and 29th SCC hearings, which will take place at Rock Ridge, where the local community can ask questions to Dominion Energy representatives. Further information can be found on the website nopowerlines.org and the state corporation's website.